Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 7 March 2017 and this is going to be one of those videos I didn't expect to make. I got in a big old box of knives from my customer John. He's been a consignment sale customer a few times in Connecticut, and he sent me I think 12 knives to sharpen, and 2 of them were sort of these old knives that the untrained eye might look at and think, you know, there's a junky old pocket knife. Did the guy dig that out of his tackle box? And this is one, and the one you're looking at is the subject of the video. It is an electric cutlery company single blade spear point jack, and we're going to talk about that knife at length. But here's the other one. Check this thing out. This is an electrician's knife. Look at the tang stamp, boys. That is a Robeson cutlery. I can't make out the rest of the stamp. Let me look at that real quick. Talk amongst yourself. Well, it's just Robeson Cutlery USA. Okay, so this is an electrician's knife. Actually, Great Eastern Cutlery made one of these probably in the 15 frame a couple of years ago. So it's a plain bolster, bare end, jack frame. Don't know what that wood is. Who knows what color it was 100 years ago when it was made. But you've got the spear main, just an elegant, nicely ground blade, came out screaming sharp. And then you've got this implement, which has like a little choil, I think is for wire stripping. And then I did dress up this edge, but it's not to be sharp like a knife, more like a reamer. I think this is what you might cut the insulation on your wire with and then bring it in here to strip. And then a screwdriver tip. Just look how beautiful. Other than a little patina, this thing is all here. And check this out. You hear that? Oh, it's a liner lock. You got a brass liner lock. Half stop and nice snap. And the main, just beautiful. Beautiful. But that's not the knife we're looking at. I really want to look at this electric Cutco knife. Check out this tang stamp. And guys, I couldn't find it. Look closely. Electric Cutco Newark NJ, I believe you should see. If you look closely. I think this is before the Walden tang stamped electric. So I think the Waldens ran from like 1908 to 1920. So this is either pre-1908 or just after 1920. So that's something around a 100-year-old knife. And I'm thinking these covers are ebony, just by the tightness of the grain. Can't really go by color on a knife this old. All hand-hammered pins, and guys, if you close your eyes, you can't feel them. Whatever wood this is, it's extremely stable. Even the bolster transitions, I can't feel. This is a 100-year-old knife. The shield, I can feel the edges of just ever so slightly. Let me see if there's any light shining through here. Just held it up to the light. There's no light shining through the back spring. And you want to hear some walk and talk? That is a gator snapping spring, and yes, it's not advisable to let that thing fall closed like that, but I won't do it anymore. I just wanted you to hear that because it is so good. back spring is flush when closed. Just slightly proud at half stop and slightly sunken at open. Man, I'm telling you guys, what a beautiful old knife. Got a little gap there. I guess our light must not be shining through more from corrosion than fit, because I see a little gap there around the butt. But let's take a look at this blade. I did ever so slightly enhance the sharpening notch. And, you know, it looks like that edge gets just a little broad-ish, doesn't it, at the tip? Well, there's a reason for that, and this is the reason I'm making the video. I really didn't want to do this. I mean, it's a really old knife. I was shaking at the belt grinder. This is the tip of this knife as I received it. Look at that. So I did retip the knife. It was such an original knife, even tipped. I almost called John and said, "Are you sure you want me to do this?" Because it's such a nice knife. But you know what? He wants it in his pocket, because I posted pictures of this on Instagram today after it was done. And it's going to be a user. So how do you do this? You know, it's a spear point blade. So you can't do it all with belly. You can't do it all with spine. What I did, and I've done this on several traditional spear points, you gotta come down a little from the spine, a little from the belly of the cutting edge, trying not to obliterate that cut swedge, and make it look good, and try to make that point dead in the middle of the blade. So that's picture number one. Let's see here. So here's picture number two. This is before sharpening. Okay, so this is reprofiled off the grinder, but before sharpening. And here we are now. And here's a little interesting shot. This was the picture I put on Instagram today. So, as received, as reprofiled, and then two shots of the finished knife. You know, little jobs like this, they just make me feel good. Because, you know, here's a knife that's around 100 years old, that probably got tipped 80 years ago and somebody threw it in a drawer. Somehow John gets a hold of it and he looks at it and he says, "Man, that's a pocket knife." I mean, look at even a match striker pull. Get the light to hit that for you. There we go. How beautiful is that? The Federal Shield. Man. But John gets this knife and he looks at it and he says, "Man, that's a knife. I got to carry that thing." So he sends it to me, and boy, I just... labor of love, guys, labor of love. Did have to regrind that kick a little bit. It was a finger catcher because I had to, you know, move that point. It was proud of the frame, so that's how you make that point sit in the blade well by ever so carefully grinding that little flat until that blade rests where you want it to. Okay? Not too difficult. Pretty thick stock on that little son of a gun, and that spine will patina up where I took the material off over time. Oh, you know, can a 100-year-old pocket knife cut? Because we all know, you know, they didn't really invent good knives till the titanium frame lock ball bearing flipper came out. All those knives that were built before, they were just garbage. And that's even with some kind of wedgy geometry out there by the tip, guys. Still plenty good, plenty good. I think I sharpened this at about 20 degrees just so the bevel wasn't overly broad. So, you know, it's not a race car slicer, but still a great, great, great pocket knife. Thought you would like to see it before it goes home. It sure was a blessing having it in the shop. John, rest of your knives be done tomorrow, Wednesday the 8th. They'll be heading back to you, my friend. Thanks for sharing these oldies with me. I appreciate it. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the Word and John's old pocket knives are sharp.